So the value of camp is critical in the development of a scout's life. Lord Baden-Powell, who is the founder of Scouting, said that a week at camp is worth a theoretical 6 months in the classroom. And so we try to make those camping experiences a place where the scouts can learn leadership, they can learn outdoor skills, and they learn self-confidence. And it really is the core method of our scouting program.
You don't find another place besides that outdoor learning environment where a kid really learns how to be self-sufficient, where a kid is able to learn how to work as a team, where a kid is able to learn skills they wouldn't typically need in their day-to-day lives. All this virtual stuff is great, but it doesn't replace our need to be able to get outside.
So in Lake Erie Council, the Scouting at Home program started shortly after we were given the stay-at-home orders, particularly for school children. And it was with the decision, hey, we got to provide some gap-based programming. And what that meant was we wanted scouting to be a solution for those families who now are stuck at home. They don't have much choices in terms of what to do with their kids because they aren't going to school. So we wanted to give them an opportunity to socialize with other scouts, their friends, keep giving them the opportunity to socialize with other people, but also using the scouting program and the things that we teach, particularly through merit badge instruction, which is our program that teaches life skills or hobbies, as well as our Cub Scouting program. And our Cub Scouting program really focuses on the interaction between the family and the scout. So one of the elements that we have decided that we need to incorporate, aside from just like skill instruction, merit badge type stuff, is that we need to incorporate the other elements of what the camping program means into our online programming. We've held a virtual 5K because physical fitness is important. And so scouts all start at the same time and then post their pictures of their times or maybe their running route. And it really builds a sense of community as to how we're running that 5K. And then finally, one of the last elements that we've thought of is in terms of bringing the camping and maybe activity side of the program together is that we're holding a virtual camper-all. And so what is that? Well, a camporee or a camper-all is where our scouts get together. They participate in skill instructions, they have cooking competitions, there's usually a campfire or ceremony at the end, and there's probably some sort of service project. So we've taken each of those elements, including even starting off with a flag ceremony. We've taken each of those elements and brought it to a virtual environment so people can share their videos on Facebook. So we're really trying to think outside the box and really bring these ideas to our camping program across the board. A lot of our folks that are helping us deliver this program, this is their first time, or maybe not their first time, but first couple times where they're using technology that they're not familiar with. And so there's some bumps along the way of figuring out new platforms and as opposed to just lecturing in a classroom setting or interacting in a church basement.
Really, technology, it's crucial because you can't teach somebody how to tie a knot over the phone, so being able to see what the person's doing that's instructing and see what the person is trying to learn is doing and helping them with video, it's really paramount. Thankfully, this is happening in 2020 and not 2000, because I think the technology back in 2000, I mean, you had phones, right?
I'm a pretty optimistic person. I'm a pretty glasses like 3/4 full or more kind of person. I usually tell people, I'm very optimistic about how we're going to come out of this and what that's going to look like. At the same time, I got to be honest, we don't know what that looks like. And I think that uncertainty is the part that probably weighs on me the most. Cause I I'm not a soothsayer. I'm not somebody that pretends like they know things they don't know. So I don't pretend that. I just try to be optimistic about it. So my hope is that we can come out of this really strong, and that as a society and as an organization, we can rebound from any of the financial struggles that we have. But there is a lot of worry around that. There is a lot of, being real. There is always that concern, because if summer camp doesn't happen, and a lot of councils rely on that summer camp income, what does that look like for that council? Whether it's mine, locally in Philadelphia, or it's yours in Cleveland, or somewhere else across the country. There's a lot that rides on summer camp.
The summertime program oftentimes pays to operate those camps, the properties of those camps, year round. And so from a financial perspective, this COVID-19 stay-at-home stuff is really scary to a lot of people in the camping world. We know that there are a lot of businesses that are hurting from this, but what we're looking at is a summer where we're supposed to possibly not get people together, and that's our main part of our business. In scouting, for a lot of councils, the budget is made up. The camping part of that budget, that camping and activities, is maybe between 20 and 40% of a council's budget. And summer camp alone for those councils is more than 50 to 75% of that camping and activities budget. So the prospect of canceling camps or shutting them down for the summer has a huge impact on scouting as a movement. It certainly has an impact on private camps as well, because that's really their only income source for the year. And so it'll be very interesting to see in the next couple weeks here what the determinations are made by the public health departments, by the Centers for Disease Control, if we can really continue with these summertime programs, because they're really essential in meeting the budgetary obligations that we have is part of the program.
If there's any silver lining out of this, I think that it is that paradigm of how we do things is being challenged, right? This isn't a drill. How can we learn from this? How can we keep using technology to our benefit? That's really my hope, is that we're being thrust into doing things differently, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. And yeah, we all want to get back to seeing each other in person, but not forgetting what we've learned from the situation we've been put into.
The thing is that if we're looking for the positive in this, we're going to find it. We have an opportunity here to redefine how we camp, how we offer programs, and this is our chance to do that. We can look at our programs and how we can be more welcoming to non-scouting families at our camps, attending our different programs, and use that as a way to attract them into scouting.
One of the biggest things that I've learned from this whole experiment, or what we're being forced into, is the fact that we need to change as a scouting movement, and that while it may not be comfortable, this whole experience has given us a way to do that. It's given us a push, if you will, to get started on changing how we deliver programs to our families, how we engage our youth, and how we think about how our program makes an impact in the world.